All right. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I hope you are having a wonderful day. This is going to be the second tutorial for Monster Adventure Studio. And this one's real easy. You just sit back. We're just going to be doing an overview of all of the tabs up here where you can find certain stuff in this engine. So we're going to start up here at the top left. You'll see a save icon or a floppy disk if you are ancient like me. Okay. Click that to save. I have this up here because I am OCD about that. I click the heck out of that repeatedly. Exit's going to take you back to launcher, not to be confused with the X at the top right of your program. That'll just exit the program. Back to launcher, let's say you have multiple projects. You want to go back to work on another project, click back to launcher. Okay, a lot of my development is done at nighttime, unfortunately. Busy guy. So we have a dark mode button so you don't hurt your little eyes. All right, so let's look at our tabs here. Starting out on the leftmost side is the Map Studio. It looks very bare right now. We got a void. Don't worry, come back to it. But this is where you create your map set. All right, so we have our monster library here, and we looked at this one and the next tab on the first tutorial, but this is where your monsters live. On the left side is all the ones currently on your computer in your user library. On the right side is all the ones that are in your project. So pretty. The new monster tab, exactly what it sounds like. Also touched on that one in the first tutorial. This is where you make your new monsters. This will also pop up if you need to edit monsters. Playtest? Well, there's nothing here to test right now, but this is where you test your game. Okay, so you don't have to export it every time. All right, battle tests. Sorry, I was messing with these guys a little bit. So battle tests is where you come to, well, test your monsters. Okay, maybe you don't want to come in here or go into battle test every time to just test out monsters. Maybe you just want to test out a freshly made monster. You can come in here, you can set the monster, the level, their moves, and really just go at it here. We'll have them use dragon power. Wow. Yeah, we don't. We got to move on. Move editor, not to be confused with animation editor here. Project moves. Okay, this is all the moves in your project. Over here is where you make moves. Okay, we'll have a separate video on making moves. This is your battle animations here. Got some good ones in here in the default library already, and I'm gonna keep making some more. That is what I do. All right, creator profile. And whenever you make a monster file here, okay, you'll notice this thing at the bottom right. That's your creator profile. You set your own by the creator profile tab. You put your name in, a small message, pick your country, and the flag will show automatically. The stamp is a small picture. Put whatever you want there. Make sure it's appropriate. Right, make sure you hit save. Project items. Well, there's going to be all the items inside your game. So lasso, this is what we'll use in my own project and a couple other people's to capture and tame monsters. You can put a ball in there, a cage, whatever you want. Use your imagination, right? Ancient book, this kind of functions like a rare candy, and you can make your own here. Um, there's going to be more options, but right now we have pretty much everything that you need to create whatever items. Down at the bottom, we have key item floaty. This functions as your ability to surf or swim across water. Currently, I believe in the not this next update. I think the big next push is to make it to where you have a standard option to do a standard check for like just like the move surf or something to go across water if you so desire. Transformation panel, evolution panel. Okay, this is where you set your monster's transformations, set your source monster, your target monster, and the condition. I got a couple, I think we got 5 conditions in there right now. We can check this out more later on. That's where you do it. All right, sprites. These are going to be the character and object sprites in your game. And you'll notice some of them have in-battle sprites. That means that that is what is going to pop up if this particular sprite is used as a trainer sprite. And we did that because a great portion of Creature Collector and Monster Taming games is battling your monsters. So we didn't want you to have to sit there and manually specify a in-battle sprite every single time. So there you go. You are welcome. Don't worry, there's a workaround for it if you want to have the wizard, but you want him to show up as a robot. You got options. Project settings. Okay, in here we can change things about our game. Party size 6. You want to start with the first monster, you can do that. New game start. We don't have a map right now, but this is where you would select your map and the coordinates. You put in the coordinates manually like a tryhard. You just come into the preview and just click it. Player step time. The higher this number is, the slower they're going to animate. I prefer 192. I think that looks very classic. Swim sprite is what sprite plays on your character when they're in the water. Okay, you may want a fish, a raft, a boat, a seal. I think right now I've got a floaty in there as the default trainer swim sprite. Save slots. Maybe you want your player to have more than one save. You can switch that up to 3. Monster level cap, I have mine set to 50. Faint sound effect is exactly what it sounds like. Trade sound, exactly what it sounds like. Your sparkling animation, I have the animation sparkle, what you saw when I clicked it earlier. Sparkling rate is 1 in whatever this number is. So I have it set to 256. Standard is like in the 700s, right? And this is just going to be export options for your games. These will likely be moved by the time you watch this video. Okay, those are going to the export tab, which we're getting to. All right, tile sets. So this is going to hold all the tiles in your game. Nice, some buildings, cave tiles, ground tiles, detail tiles, interior tiles, whatever you put in here, okay, you can come in here and edit it. Common events. Well, if you're not familiar with these are, well, common events, right? So they're commonly called in your project, like you're using them a lot. Okay, so I personally use these for healers at what I call the Monster Services Building. You can think of that as a Pokemon Center. A Monster Services Building, we have a healer in there. She says some dialogue, screen fades out, she heals you, plays a little chime, fades back in. I don't want to have to manually do that event every single time. I come in here, I make it in the common event. I just assign that common event. Right? We call that from the event, and that's it. Saves so much time, and we'll do another video on common events and clever ways you can use that. Sounds and music, exactly what it sounds like. On the left here, you have your music tracks. On the right here, your sound effects. .wav files, we keep it simple. Other resources. All right. So if you want to have cutscenes, maybe intros. So over here I have the intro or our sample game I'm working on. I have pictures of the starters in that sample game. Pop up. I don't know why he's here. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Don't know why the wizard's here. I have the badge, the plain badge, and if you saw the trophy menu over here in the settings, that's where you can put your badges, your marks. In my own game, I have them as marks or stamps. And later on, you're going to be able to add more in here as well. Right, but you can put those in here under other resources, and you can call these via certain commands in game. Variables, right? So this is what's going to be your main. This is as close to coding as you're going to get, which is not that close. Variables just they track where you're at in the game, how many of something you have, is something true or false. The default here is game progress because that's how you're going to have the player progress through your main story. That is another great tutorial. All right, on the UI 1 tab, this is going to be where you can change a lot of very visible and repeatedly seen aspects of your game. So over here we have the title screen builder. So you build your title screen, put your logo there, change the labels on it. New game, maybe you want to say new adventure. Message and choice skins, you can change these skins for your message boxes. I don't have any default ones in here right now. Will be by the time this gets out of early access. Change where it pops up, color, highlights, battle UI. You can change dang near everything about how you see the UI in your battles, from the font to where they slide in from, like the your enemy monsters, lots of stuff. Game UI, you want to change your font in game, you go for it. You hate how the editor looks, you want the font to be bigger, something else, you can do that. Right. Moving on, we have strings. So you want the currency in your game to be called dollar bills, you go for it. Right, Jill, diamonds, money, choice is yours. Change what you want your trophies to be called. Your sparkling, you just want it called shiny. There you go. That's where you change it. We got some string lines down here. So capture success. Monster was captured with item. We could say monster was tamed with item. Right? This is where you do all that. The export section is going to be filled out exponentially. Right now on the left side, we have a project check, which makes sure that most moves, enemies, monsters in your game, they have something tied to them. If something's missing anywhere, let's say they have a move in their list, but that move is not in your project, it's going to let you know. And it's going to pop up a warning. And guys, you can just force export anyways, which I do 9 times out of 10 because I'm kind of just a bad developer. All right. Export release. Oh, this will also fill out a bit. Right now, this is just the borders, and it's a little finicky right now. Not finicky, but finicky in the way that, man, I don't know. We have so many doubles and triples in the default resource package for this. But your game goes here, border goes there. All right, types. You'll see a big addition on this screen in the near future. We'll have a add type, and you'll be able to have up to 99 types. Why would you want 99 types? I don't know, but we're going to give you choices. Okay. Over here on the right side is where you do your type matchups. Okay, so let's say we wanted to add flame to be 8 times weak to lightning. Boom, there it is. Simple as that. Right, and that works game wide. On the far right side here, we have our is a pixel editor or sprite art editor program, pixel art program. This is not the best. This is just for those who maybe you cannot afford a sprite, something like that. It's here. Okay, you want to just make stuff in engine and not leave, you have that option. In fact, I prefer you just stay here, right? So it's not the best in the world. It may look completely different by the time you get to it. May not. But it is here.